it looks like you are in a place in life where you are trying to make a fresh start. You're trying to, geez, what I liked. You're trying to put forth a new foot, so to speak. It looks like you're wanting to start a new stride somehow. And it also looks like there's possibly an older gentleman who is somehow affecting your new start. And it looks, it's hard to tell by the way this card is drawn, but I'm getting the feeling that it has to do with that there is somebody who's older, very imaginative, possibly even an Aries who's there to help. But when I look at what is in the subconscious or the root of your situation and your romance and love life, it's as if you're kind of enduring a situation of some sort, as if it's not all that you want it to be, and it's as if you're kind of gritting your teeth and bearing it. I mean, things are not bad, but they're not as good as they could be, and it seems you're all right with the status quo, although you wish it were better. I know that sounds contradictory. It's more like you aren't necessarily yearning for so much more in that department of your life, but you know it could be better. And in your finance, it looks like there's something holding you back, something that you might need to learn, something very important element that is kind of being withheld from you, or you haven't figured out yet. And in the root of your home life, it looks like there's also, I mean, throughout this read, because I do the whole read before I turn the camera on, it looks like your home life there's something about it that's stifled. There's something about it that's not right, as if maybe you don't get to spend the amount of time at home you would like to or need to, or if there's something about your environment at home that is just not tranquil. Okay? And in the past, it looks like romantically there's been a sense of justice for you, because that's the card that is drawn. So, you know, maybe that's why you're okay with the situation. Maybe you feel in that department you've gotten what you deserved. For good or bad, I can't make that determination at this point in the read. And it looks like in the past your career and finances have been okay. I'm getting a good indicator there. And once again, we've got, you know, in the past, your home life is a little, I don't quite know what it is, but it's not as settled as I think a home should be for someone. Okay? Now, going into the near future, in your romantic department and department of relationships, it looks like, you know, it's interesting because sometimes these cards tell such an incredible story. I feel like, you know, somebody is setting them up, and that is the way they work after all. There is some force somewhere. These things don't come up randomly. But, you know, I talked about there's sort of a not necessarily, you know, the sort of attitude at the root of it. It could be better, but in the past it looks like things were just. And in the near future, there's going to be a balancing out of energies. Things are going to there's going to be sort of a restful place, a place of healing. Anyone who knows cards, and since this is, I mean, you know, this is just following in line. What you drew is the Four of Swords in that area. And once again, now, you know, it looks like in the near future you might have some financial instability, but nothing that you won't be able to handle. Vehicle or transportation, possibly. It has nothing to do with the cards. That's just me reflecting. But it looks like it's going to be a minor thing. It's not going to be major. And in the near future, whatever this is, this home thing is, that we saw at the root, and that we saw in the past, it's going to clear up, and it's going to get very, very peaceful and loving, and your home environment is just going to it's going to just all of a sudden come together in a way that I'm not even sure you can imagine. And that is from the cards. I just got the feeling when I touched this card. I don't know if somebody's going to be coming home who hasn't been there, or if it's just going to be a sense of you coming home. But I almost get the feeling, and this is where I'm always shaky on these things because my intuition is still, I'm still learning that part of this. I'll always still be learning that part of this. But my intuition, it feels like somebody's coming home. In the distant future, now your place of relationships and romance, it's rocking. In the distant future, it looks like things are really going to come together there. I don't know if there's already somebody in your life, but there definitely will be. It's definitely going to settle out, and it's definitely going to be a good thing. Your career and finance, long term, it's going to be a mixed bag. It's still going to have its ups and downs. It's still going to be a little rough, but it's not going to be in such a way that it's totally disruptive to your home life. It's basically the same kinds of challenges I think anybody in the economy is going to face. So you're not going to be on easy street, but you know, it's if you just watch the budget, you'll be fine. That's what I'm seeing there. And again, the long-term home life. It looks like in the long-term future, there's still going to be some bumpiness, but it's going to be it's going to be kind of a situation where boy, this is odd. You know what? Let me explain it to you this way. I have a friend, and when I visit her, I hear her family arguing. I hear her and her husband arguing with their kids, and it looks like a tense situation, and I sit back and smile because it's the kind of arguing that goes on in a family that is disruptive but not mean-spirited. And when you're involved in it, you feel the tenseness, but when you're removed from it, you look at it and say, that's just the way families are sometimes. And I'm seeing that in the long term, which, you know, so it's not bad that tension and that conflict is there. As a matter of fact, conflicts being resolved is how people learn and grow. So I'm getting a good deal of that in your long-term home life. So it's not, you know, so it's that kind of disruption, and it's something that I get the you know, it's a sort of a contradictory idea, but it's kind of the good kind of disruption. Not really sure I want to belabor this anymore because I'm not sure I can explain it any better than I have. There have been a couple aces coming up, reversed, and like I say, I get this theme that there's something you're just on the verge of, and it requires intelligence and imagination that you just haven't figured out yet, but you want to. And it is connected to your career, and I think it's a career move of some type. I don't feel it has as much to do with changing careers as it does changing the way you're doing something in your finances or your career. So maybe it's just a change in method. I'm not quite sure. Or learning something so that you can do your job better or maybe advance in your job. But there's something, it's like it's almost there, but you just haven't put it all together yet. But it looks like it will come together. The way it looks like that you're viewed by others is you're not necessarily carefree, but you're not necessarily a workaholic either. You're kind of viewed as someone who's diligent. And in the hopes and dreams, you want things to work out. You want projects. You want... I get the sense that you're happiest when you're busy with something. Okay? And as far as outcome, it looks like in the area of your relationships, it looks like there's going to be a law. Like I say, in the long term, there's somebody that's going to be coming in, or the person who's with you now. At some point, it's going to be wonderful. But as far as the outcome where this read is concerned, there's going to be a law in that area. So probably sometime between when you get this peaceful resting state and before it takes off with this individual. And you're again, we're getting a reversed two of cups reversed in the career and finance. I just get the feeling that there's just something. Like I say, you're waiting for it to come together. It's just on the brink. So it's something that's still, as far as the outcome for this read, which would be, in the near future, or would be relate to the read as a whole. That's what I say. In home life, it does look like, as I say, I'm kind of putting together what I said about your distant future in the home life and the outcome here. It does look like you're going to be busy. You're going to be having a lot going on, but it's a positive kind of activity. So, I like to recap at the end of my reads, and it's going to be hard to do with this because this is a pretty large spread. But just kind of let's go. It's a new start. It looks like there's somebody there, an older gentleman that's somehow related to all this. I don't necessarily know if this corresponds to the other person that I mentioned in your long-term relationship, but it looks like the correlation is your love life's going to be slowly coming together. Your work life and finances are going to have some ups and downs. There's going to be a revelation at some point. You just need to break through that. It's as if it's on the tip of your tongue. You just don't have it yet. And your home life, you say it's rough. It's going to get really good in the near future, and then it's going to level off into what I see as a stable kind of home situation. Something's going to be resolved. Like I say, I feel like someone may be coming home, or at least a sense of that. And it looks like a fairly good read. It looks like everything, there's some ups and downs, some areas where there's some roughness are going to get smoothed out, and there's going to be the type of energy that just carries you through. So I think it's a good read. I think that you have a lot to look forward to. Hopefully you'll save this. I'm going to have it online for you. And I want you to, Eleanor, I want you to get back with me. Let me know where I've gotten hits on, where I might be a little off on, okay? Thank you again. I really appreciate this. And remember, too, I'm still learning. A lot of people give me a lot of compliments and say I'm spot on and that kind of thing. But, the ones I probably don't get, probably don't contact me. I don't know. At any rate, by all means, just let me know how it works out and what you thought, okay? Bye-bye.